Hello and welcome to another episode. It's the News Burst Live, brought to you by the Full Force podcast and Generals Joe's Reborn with me, Christopher McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. No headphones today, right? Hair is done, looking all like. I thought I'd put the wave in for the Eels today. Eels up inside you. That's a little bit of not an exaggeration. That's a little bit of an example of what we're going to be doing today. Lots of silly puns by the sounds of things. Hope everyone is doing really well. It's weird not having the headphones. I feel really exposed, but when I do my hair, I don't like to put them on, and I don't really need it because it's not like I need to listen to anyone else or hear anything. So it's all good. Anyway, we've got lots to get through today. Everyone's already in the chat. There's loads of you. Amazing stuff. Yes, today we had our second kind of like G.I. Joe pre-order kind of scenario, if you don't really count the HasLab, which you should do. So I guess this is the third phase, isn't it, of what is going to be quite a lot more to come still this month. So we've got the 21st next week on Wednesday, got the 28th as well to finish the month off. Lots going on. Now, let's get straight into what we've just seen today. We've seen 3 figures revealed. Well, 2 of them were revealed yesterday. I'm really happy, though, that the Eels up inside managed to not get revealed last night. I was really happy they snuck in because we knew they were coming, and we were just very kind of excited to see like what they were going to look like because I hadn't seen them yet. So very, very excited. Thanks for the shout out there, Robert Kalupatan. Nice hairdo. Thanks. Just rocking it, you know. Usually have the hat on, usually have the head. I feel so naked right now. It's not even funny. Hope all my cheese bags are doing well. Hope you're all having a good time already today. Let's get stuck into this stuff then, shall we? Of course. Let's do it. Right then, so live classified reveals, of course. Desert Commando Snake Eyes and Tunnel Rat dropped last night. The kind of product images, or some of the product images, did kind of sneak out there a little early. Obviously, I think everyone expected to see them the next day. That's how it works usually. But thankfully, the Eels did sneak through. So we didn't get any kind of spoiling or ruining of that particular one. Yeah, Coif is on point today, isn't it, Diana? I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Quaff. Yeah, lots to talk about. Let's get stuck in then. First off, classified series pre-orders. Now everything's going up at 1 p.m. Eastern, so it's still only 11:45 here. So we've still got an hour and a quarter to go, which is great. Like, gives a bit of time, doesn't it, to kind of like ease into it. Anyway, we had I think we'd expected that Grunt, whatever, like, okay, so let's talk about internal code words, right? We had, for this particular day, Dickens, Aesop, and Anderson were the code words, right? So we knew that, or we thought we knew that Dickens was Grunt, okay? Now, either the Joe team have moved Tunnel Rat into this particular week to do the pre-orders, right? Or we just got the names the wrong way around. So I mentioned on last night's news burst that I posted, very last night, it was quite late when I finished that, that the whole Tunnel Rat Grunt thing we may have mixed up. So Dickens and Lovecraft, we may have just got a little bit wonky there. In any case, it doesn't really make much difference because they're both in the same 5-figure wave. And as we saw today, Tunnel Rat is a mainline release. So that goes to prove that he is a 5-figure wave figure. All good. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We will probably try to work out which one it is, though, just because, well, we'll find out when we see the number on the foot. So we'll be able to work it out then. In any case, that's kind of irrelevant, but I wanted to give you a bit of like an idea of what we knew going into this. So when we saw Tunnel Rat revealed last night, we were like, okay, so it looks like Tunnel Rat is probably going tomorrow and not Grunt, which means that we're very likely going to see Grunt at some point this month as well. Okay, right, that's that. We knew Eels was Anderson, which is another internal code word. So we knew that it was Anderson, and we knew it was an Amazon exclusive. So we were kind of like hopeful to see it. And when it did show up, we were like, okay, good, that's brilliant. That cements that particular point. The other one we didn't know of was Aesop, which was, it turns out to be Desert Commando Snake Eyes, which again, it's very rare that we know in advance what the redecos are going to be. Like, it's really hard to get a gauge of. We did know about Dusty, we did know about the Crimson Guard, but they were quite obvious redecos. More so in, like, you know, in getting our information or what have you. But yeah, so anyway, let's look at what was revealed. Why are we talking about this? Just a bit of preamble, I guess. So Emily and Lenny, sorry, the police are here, or whatever that siren is, probably, I don't know. So Emily and Lenny joined through the video episode, a pre-recorded video. They did the same on the 1st of June. And this is kind of like the way they'll be doing it, I imagine, for the next couple of weeks as well. So on every Wednesday, expect an 11 a.m. drop. Usually hits Instagram first. And so, yeah, usually hits Instagram first. And then it kind of slowly finds its way onto Facebook and Twitter. We just kind of posted, as soon as the Instagram video popped up, I kind of posted, oh, it's up. But I was refreshing quite crazy at that point. I just wanted to see what we were getting. All the police are here. No, not really. It's just a lot of sirens going on. That sounds like fire engine. Yep. That's a fire engine. Anyway, Joss has asked, today was the last day for reveal. I'm just going to wait. For all of the emergency services. It's like I don't know what is going on outside. Maybe zombies are taking over. Rachel Salinas mentioned zombie vipers or mole rats behind Tunnel Rat. We'll have a look at those images in a bit, Rachel. But yeah, anyway, right, back to this. So this is not the last set of reveals, no. Like I said, we've got reveals next week and the week following. This is like they're doing it the whole month. They're spreading it all out, as I mentioned. George Greeno, it's because you're so hot. What, the fire engines? Get out of here. Get out of here, George Greeno. Chris, your house is on fire, says Paul. If they're coming from here to get to my house, good luck. It's miles away. Oh my goodness me. Like, what is going on out there? Can you hear this? Pork chop sandwiches indeed, McMurphy. Okay, I really want to get on with this show, and I cannot, because all of these things, I can't believe how many trucks are going past. Something crazy must be going on. Anyway, right. Done. Good to see you on here, George, by the way, George Greeno, and Paul, and everybody, and Ryan. Thanks so much, guys, for jumping on. Really appreciate all of the support. So Emily and Lenny came on, and they showed us the first figure, which was revealed last night, and that is Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes? Snake Eyes. I don't know why I'm doing it in an Australian accent. So there you go. Great seeing you too. Thanks, George. So yes, this is Snake Eyes, and it's another Snake Eyes. Don't get me wrong, it's another Snake Eyes, but this deco is, and I'm using this term on purpose, but this deco is fire, and that's probably why we had all of that happening outside. Snark Eyes almost sound like Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes confirmed. Tim says, anyone else seeing Coil Crusher here? Yeah, Desert Scorpion vibes, all sorts of things going on here for me. And what I actually thought when I saw the packaging art yesterday revealed, I was thinking like, oh, it's like a new Jedi with an orange lightsaber on Tatooine because of that on the blade, that orange on the blade, which is really sexy. Snake Eyes Boy's 6-pack to the desert. It looks ripped on there, doesn't he? I think there's just pouches, isn't it? I can't remember on the mold on it. We haven't had the mold very often, so I don't. It's not like I recognize it very much. I'm just kidding. So what we're talking about? Snake Eyes has had this body, not the head, but the body, I think 6 times previous. So this would be the 7th usage of the body, I think. So I'm thinking like deluxe Snake Eyes. The retail version. I know there was sort of like a variant of the retail version that kind of wasn't because it wasn't an actual official redeco kind of thing. It was just a packaging change, and they took the red dot and that kind of stuff. So, but like, I'm just going to, for argument's sake, deluxe retail, Fortnite. Then, of course, you've got the red and blue ninjas, and of course, the second release of Snake Eyes and Timber. So I'm thinking with that was that 6 uses of the body, and obviously I think the parts have kind of been utilized elsewhere as well, like in bits and pieces here and there. But it's a well used body, Kitty said. But with the retro head, that body, and all the gear and all the deco, I'm kind of liking it a lot. Sand Viper version 2, says Rachel Salinas. Yeah, big time. Now, there's now I would probably take this fig because I love this Snake Eyes design, right? The deluxe, the first one they kind of opened the line with, I thought was such a beautiful, refreshing new design for the figure, and just really, really like what Lenny did with the whole kind of the aesthetic and everything. Helmet as well. Like, I just love that figure. I think it's phenomenal. So I would probably happily have that in lots of different ways. What my issue was early on was the fact that, the second Timber release Animal Companion set, the Alpha Command, not Alpha Commando's one, the other one with the scarf, basically the slight redeco of this body. That, because it was very similar to the deluxe, I was just like, that's a shame. At least the scarf kind of gives him something different visually. So that I'm cool with, right, to a degree. And obviously that Timber's great, and I'm really happy we got a white repaint of him. But I thought it was a great opportunity right there to do a winter deco on it, like all whites and greys and off-white, and maybe like some camo on there on the pants or something, just something interesting to make that a winter specific figure. And obviously with the Fortnite one, which was effectively a bit of a letdown, because after seeing the renders, I thought, oh, it's going to have like different, parts and different pieces and smoother and more like game-like. No, it was just a pretty much almost exact replica of the retail version. Very like underwhelming in my opinion. So those are my issues with those reuses. When it's reused like this, I have no issues. I love the paint, the deco, and everything like that. Really like vibey, fun, and of course Desert Mission specific, which is cool. They had some lovely product images as well. Right, let's hang on. I think someone asked me. Yeah, Aquarius Man says, I thought the Yojoe live stream was going to be long because it's Yojoe June. I thought today was going to be a long live stream at 11 a.m. No, Aquarius Man. So what they have done is they have split everything up into these little pre-order segments. Like, so the 1st of June, expect that every week, right? The HasLab one was the main event. Like, that was their main event that they did a little bit longer and had, like the video at the beginning and more of a kind of like, I don't know, kind of more detail and more showing off the HasLab and everything. And of course, with that continuing, there are going to be leaks and not leaks. They're going to be reveals and so on and so forth as tiers are unlocked. So they've just effectively spread everything out across the month. And we kind of knew that was the case going into this when we saw that what happened on the 1st. We knew obviously the HasLab thing was coming, and because they kept, obviously promoting it. And that felt to me like that was the biggie. Now, who know, like, we don't know. They might finish strong on the 28th with something more substantial. They might that might obviously continue into July, where they do like a HasLab kind of event again to commemorate the success of the funding of the HasLab. We don't really know exactly, but don't expect long drawn out kind of live streams unless they say in advance, we've got a fan stream coming and it's dropping. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's just like a drop like this is, with no like information other than Entertainment Earth having a drop zone section for it, and like a couple of outlets maybe kind of leaking it a little bit, then expect them to be short little bursts. But hopefully that kind of tempers expectations going into next week and the 28th, because I think expect the same thing again, bud, on that one. I'm good. How are you doing, Aquarius man? And thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate and the question as well, or the the thought that you had. That's totally cool. Samuel says it's actually a miss for me. I only pick redecos unless I have no choice, like Recondo. Right? Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Like a tiger, like the Tiger Force situation. Again, it's not going to be for everyone, is it? I think there's a definite like Snake Eyes fatigue that has set in numerous phases amongst the fandom as I've kind of been involved with it going through the years, like kind of collected and been with the community and going to conventions and stuff like that. So like in that time period, I would say that there's been a few moments where it's been like, wow, there's a lot of Snake Eyes figures. But if you go back earlier, it's almost like, I don't know, there was almost like an expectation that there needed to be a Snake Eyes figure as well, like a different version of him, a different winter, this desert, that kind of thing. So Classified are definitely going that direction again with the 6-inch, and I think just overall they're going to sell those figures. Snake Eyes is always going to be the popular character. I love this product shot here of him like doing the Deadpool jumping through the air, firing the pistol and the Uzi kind of thing. That's pretty dope. Yeah, cool. Sorry, there's loads of comments coming in, guys. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. Chris, we have another short streak on the 28th. Yeah, it's going to be the 21st next week and then the 28th. They're going to be the two little pre-order drops, definitely, yeah. Oh, and Bick says, Lenny said they want to have Snake Eyes available to anybody just starting to collect the line. And that also kind of makes some sense too. They always get like really... not forced, but they get very pressured to release Snake Eyes figures in every single wave almost. But it hasn't, we haven't had one for a while, he says. When was the last one? Probably the retro release, wasn't it? Which wasn't that long ago, like the start of the year or just before the end. Oh yeah, the end of last year. So it hasn't been that long really. My goodness, we get some Snake Eyes, don't we? Desert Bats, says Firefly. Yeah, totally. Actually, Ronin X33, I think, said that first. Wants Desert Bats, definitely. That'd be wicked. This is a banger, though. Yeah, I agree, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. This is a banger. Right. And then, obviously, yeah, more wonderful kind of product images. Looks really dope. What have we got in the background? That's a Viper by the look of it in the background. I haven't actually been looking at the product photography in close enough detail, but we've just got like the desert backgrounds. Just wanted to make sure that, yeah, that looks like a Viper back there. Desert Viper, come on. That'd be perfect, wouldn't it? A Desert Viper, but like in Sonic Fighters colors, obviously, because it's effectively desert colors, isn't it? Like the orange and the tan and everything. That would work perfectly for that Snake Eyes. Yeah, the goggles are great, aren't they, Diana? Yeah, they're kind of like that nice kind of copper sheen going on them. Really, really nice. Yes, and that's another thing, Ryan. Yes, repaints are ways for the team to get figures in the wave and use that budget money to add new tooling on other figures. Absolutely. Yeah, that is definitely in the background. That is a Viper. Right, and on this, and again, another lovely shot. I love that blade, that orange blade. It almost looks like an orange lightsaber. Very cool. And then the figure, obviously, the physical figure, which well, I think I showed at the beginning. I don't know, I'm like revealing the physical. We saw that in the first slide. What Lenny was showing here, and I should have zoomed in on it, but I was kind of rushing to get everything prepared to kind of go live. There's a mongoose, what's it called, patch on his arm there, which I'm guessing we'll see closer to when it gets to 1 o'clock when all the product photos come flying out. We'll be able to see that a bit closer up. So I'm excited to see those. Hopefully we'll be able to kind of find those images and just post them and have, you can look through to your heart's content, even though you could just go on Hasbro Pulse and do it, of course. Desert Cobra Eels coming soon. That's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Eels just in desert colors, kind of ridiculous. And there's the sword, obviously, that orange, kind of half orange blade, kind of like down the length. Very, very cool. The length, Kitty said. Anyway, yeah, cool. So That Desert Commando Snake Eyes is a pre-order, June 14th, 1 p.m. June 14th today, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's fan channel, specialty retailers, Hasbro Pulse. Okay, fan channel, specialty retailers, Hasbro Pulse. That's where that's going. And also, this for any of my code word kind of like people out there that really enjoy digging into the code words, ASOP was FIC. So that has probably definitely got something to do with fan channel, hasn't it? Specialty retailer. So FIC ASOP or ESOP looks to be fan channel or specialty retailer. So if we see that pop up again, we know what it's going to be, don't we? Awesome. Awesome. We're nearly at, yeah, I suppose we are kind of closing in on 13K with the HasLab. We're very close, actually. What, 12,824 says people in the comments? Yeah, 12,824. Man, that's close. That's getting closer. I expected it to be done on Monday to the 13K, but I've got a feeling they wanted to get this out of the way and then maybe do, I hope either reach 13K in that time or that they were going to do another reveal afterwards. Maybe they're going to reveal the tier prior to it hitting 13K so that we can have that incentive to move it along a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, they either it's going to hit 13K and they'll reveal it, or they'll use it as an incentive. But it all depends, doesn't it? Because that's something that is like a balance thing that you've got to work out. Anyway, Desert Commando Snake Eyes, fan channel to specialty retailers, and Pulse at 1 p.m. EST today. Right, next, Cobra Eel. Now, this was great, right? Because again, we knew this was coming. We've known that the Eels have been coming for so long, but they've done so well to keep this under the radar, to not mention it. I don't think it even had a name-only reveal. It's just boom, it's out there. And I think one of the reasons they could do this, like at the speed at which they've done it, is because of Torpedo. Because as we go through, we'll see that the Eels do share a lot of Torpedo parts and so on and so forth, which is not a bad thing, obviously. It makes sense. That's what you're expecting them to do in these scenarios. And they've still added that kind of like neck piece kind of secondary as well on the top. So that is kind of an addition onto the Torpedo figure there completely. So that's freaking dope. Again, like when I say we've known, I mean the channel has known. We don't reveal a lot of stuff before it comes out unless it leaks. And then if it leaks, then we'll either, come out and report on it, or we will, confirm or deny it, etc., etc. But we don't, when we get that information, we can't like just be like, yeah, I've hinted in the past, Flaffle 57. I've definitely hinted. Mark my words, I said, didn't I? Yes, I did. So I do. If you can read between the lines, sometimes you'll be able to, you can kind of guess. It's all a funny balancing act and a weird game, isn't it? Basically. But anyway, if it does leak, then obviously we'll talk about it. But thankfully, this didn't. And genuinely, I prefer it when it doesn't. I prefer it when I don't have to report on it and do that kind of like, it's a thing that, is coming. So I kind of prefer it when it's one of those things where they can reveal it and it's like surprise, and then you can, thank God we can talk about it now, because that's what I want to do. I want to talk about this stuff with you guys too. Definitely more divers or more underwater things look to be on the cards, don't they? When you think wetsuit's got to be pretty, close by as well. But anyway, let's talk about Eels. So they've got that wonderful helmet now, and it's removable. So you've got like a balaclava head underneath, which is dope. This is the loadout, again, very Torpedo related. You've got the harpoon, which is a slight redeco to Torpedo. It's got the red rope on the hoop thing on the back. Obviously the red on the backpack on the tank as well, which I think is the same as Torpedo's. And the fins are the same as Torpedo's, and they've gone with a very clean legs kind of scenario, and the knife sheath on the calf. Matt O'Brien, thank you so much for the super chat. It was odd to see the eel when we never had a digital render. I might be misremembering, but did you say the eels were going to be $35? I hope not. It's Amazon exclusive. And we'll find out but I can't remember. I can't remember. But yes, no digital render, and I think like I said, I think the reason they've been able to do it at pace without going through those kind of like reveal channels, also to give us a surprise, was because of the torpedo connection with all the parts. But thank you, Matt. Thank you for the super chat. Because it's Amazon exclusive, I don't know. It might be like the $34.99 price point, but considering his loadout is the same as torpedoes, there's not. I mean, obviously the helmet's different and it's removable. I don't know how much that plays into it, but yeah, we'll have to find out on that one in what, less than an hour's time. Yeah, cool. So it looks really awesome as well. Again, that torpedo figure is phenomenal. Nice butt shot there of him swimming underwater. I love all the product photography. It's so good. Have we seen anything in the background yet? I don't think that was a pan up one. So I took a screenshot as it got to the top of the pan up. So there's a whole image there that we can't see. That one looks to be just him floating around. And this is a nice one of him just, chilling on the dock of the sitting on the dock of the bay, pulling his harpoon out, Kitty said, with all his gear resting on there. I like to have the helmets resting on the backpack as well, like the tank. That's kind of cool. The knife dug into the dock as well. So sick. Yeah, and flippers, obviously, really nice. Then we've got a couple of nice shots here of it's like the submarine periscope sticking out of the water, which is hilarious. And and the two eels there, one of them with the kind of helmet kind of pulled up over his eyes. Very nice indeed. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's removable. What are you guys talking about? I'm relatively new, but I've been around for a while at this point. I think it's the first time I've seen Chris's hair. Thanks, Goosey. I used to be famous for my hair, more so than anything else. But then I started doing live streams, and it was just like headphones ruin everything. So just put a hat on and then stick your headphones on. And it shocked he has hair, says Supersonic Fighters Kimberlin. Oh my God. But that forehead, wow. It is pretty big, isn't it, though? I mean, it's, it's the same size as the bottom part of my face. It is removable. I can remove my hair, by the way. There's also, it looks like it has that booster added to the backpack, says Tim. What are you talking about? Oh, on the bottom. Yeah, I'll have to look at Torpedo again. He's over there, but it's so out of reach when you're on a live stream. Do you know what I mean? I've got to open the button. It'd be like an unboxing video again. Matt says, I'd be shocked at $35 because Torpedo's 25 with very similar loadout. Full force. Absolutely, Matt. Thank you again for that. You don't have I'll try and get to everyone's comments, but I do appreciate the super chats very much so. Tubes on the eel helmet. Oh, the tubes on the eel helmet you don't think are removable. I see what you're saying. Interesting. I don't think we've got any images of it just as a helmet on its own, have we? So maybe the pipes are just connected all the time. We'll actually, again, like I said, in about less than an hour's time, we'll be able to have a look at all the images and see what the deal is there. But again, some cracking imagery. I'm just looking close filling my forehead with the screen. It's all forehead now, just to see if there's anything in the background there or in the foreground. No, I think we're good. Yeah, very awesome. Okay, Torpedo does not have those little propellers on the backpack. Cool, that's an addition on the backpack too. So those little kind of, that little kind of section on the bottom of the backpack there is new. It's cool. It's like they're using certain elements but kind of retooling it. Awesome. Full forehead. I like that one, Agent Chuckles. That's a good one. Full forehead. And then we have, obviously, information to a degree. Amazon exclusive with limited quantities on Pulse at 1 p.m. Eastern. Right then. Next up, what more to say about? Oh, the packaging. Yes, what, because we're kind of seeing it there a little bit, but you can just about make out that they've even probably just flipped the torpedo artwork on the front, haven't they? It's some really nice artwork in that little that small section. I don't know who's done that. I'll have to reach out to some of the artists that I know are on the line to see who did that. But actually, they might be posting it as we speak. So, I could see that happening. When they get revealed, sometimes they'll go on Twitter and they'll just reveal like, hey, I worked on this for like the last 7 months or 2 years and haven't been able to say anything about it. But yeah, cool. So Amazon exclusive, go check that out. And the packaging, it's got that definite like mirror image of like torpedoes package, Kitty said. So I bet if you were to kind of put them next to each other, just the cutouts of the art of the render, it would look like a kind of mirror image with torpedo. It's not okay. That's not a straight flip, says Plastic Battles. The tube worms are in different positions, and the angle of the sub is different. Cool. Okay, so but it's in the same environment, isn't it? Which is nice. So that's awesome. I do like. Obviously, this is technically the first time I've really looked at the packaging properly. Obviously, I noted when I first put the image up, I was like, oh yeah, that's very torpedo-ish. So, and it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Angela, who is Guillotine or Guillotine? Guillotine or Guillotine is a member of the Plague and was kind of prominent throughout Devil's Due Devil's Due comics, and also the figure came out in the 2000s in like a Steel Brigade versus Plague Troopers 6-pack, and then kind of like kind of like a sort of O-ring style, but kind of a bit more modernized. And then in the club released Guillotine as a FSS figure, and this is inside baseball to a massive degree, guys. The artwork on the card for the FSS Guillotine has my eyes legitimately, because Adam Riches did the artwork. And I sent him a bunch of reference photos of me with really mean eyes, like through request, so that he could like immortalize me as a G.I. Joe character on a card. So there's some inside baseball for you guys. My eyes are the eyes on Guillotine's card art for the club. Bet you didn't know that one. And if you did, then you've just been paying attention to our episodes of like old school FSS battles and things like that. Anyway, yes. Did we talk about the zombies yet? What zombies? Have some zombies happened? Oh, this always happens when I'm on a stream. Has something happened that I'm just not aware of? Tell me in the comments. What do you mean zombies, guys? I've seen zombies come up a few times. Oh, I see. Behind Tunnel Rat. Right. No, we haven't then talked about zombies. Let's get to that, shall we? Tunnel Rat. Thank you, Luke Poulon, for the explanation, and Sherlock as well. Thank you. It's coming. We're getting there. You just got to be patient with me, okay? You've got to bear with me. Yes, Traz, you've got a Diagnostic 80 figure subscription service figure. That looks like zombles rather than zombies, Angela. So that's kind of like if the Wombles were zombies, and you might not know who the Wombles are, go on the internet after this and Google the intro to the Wombles, Wombles. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's cool. It's cool. I'm getting to it, guys. We are literally getting to all of this. There's fun stuff to talk about. Right. This is interesting, isn't it? First off, has anyone even mentioned the Dark Energon possibility behind him? I imagine so. So yeah, Tunnel Rat, awesome. Looks phenomenal in this shot. Holding the old M60, got the night vision goggles on, flashlights on the backpack. Everything is as it should be in the world with this Tunnel Rat. Definitely. Supersonic Gimblin. What the hell is a Womble? I'm paraphrasing. So that to me looks a bit like Dark Energon in the background, crystallized a little bit as well. Purple, obviously. I'm just mentioning that because of the whole Mole Rats Dark Energon mention in one of those HasLab updates from a while back. So that's the first interesting thing that I note from that image. Next, what have we got going on here, guys? Is this what we were talking about? I will, considering people have sent me things while I've been... hang on. I'm going to have to multitask because I am terrible at this game sometimes. Someone said they sent me a picture. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How did I miss that the first time? They definitely look zombie-like. And we're not there yet, by the way, on the video. I'm just making sure I'm not missing something on this image. But again, you've got that creepy Dark Energon vibe, which could be the reason or the narrative reason for zombies, which we know they've been leaked. Listings have been leaked with zombie type figure, and etc. etc. Diana Davis says, Chris, take your mind back to the leaked comic poster. What is the shared universe called again? The Energon universe. Yeah, so that's what I'm guessing with all this kind of purple and that stuff behind them, obviously. And they've kind of been talking about that anyway, you know, in everything. So it's kind of like putting 5 and 12 together and coming up with 937. But we're doing it, and we always do it. And this is why we do it. Then obviously we're not at the zombie image just yet, but we'll get there. Then we've got the figure. Looks phenomenal in my opinion. Love what they've done with him. Love the deco. Love the knee pads. The knee pads are actually a nice touch and a practical one for someone that's on the blimmin' belly or knees most of the time, like crawling through blimmin' tunnels and sewers and zombies. So yeah, big time on that one. And that night vision goggles are wicked. So I'm really glad that they've added those as like a little fun addition. Yeah. Also, there's this shot here. That's a zombie in it. I'm just saying that to everything now. Right there, bottom left corner. That's a zombie in it. Here he is again without the night vision goggles, so you can see the kind of the bandana and the head sculpt. The head sculpt's gorgeous, man. The camo's wicked. I said on the news burst last night that those camo pits on the arms do look a little bit like tattoos, but they're not. That has been confirmed that they are it's just camo. So it's not tattoos on his arms. I just thought it was like kind of interesting kind of vibe or touch for Tannerat to do something like that. Anyway, obviously his little bandana, which I don't think I mentioned. I don't think I mentioned his neckerchief on the thing last night either, because, you know, rushing all the time it feels like on this. But that bottom left corner does look like something, doesn't it? That looks a little zombie to me. Maybe a little battish, says Charlock. Yeah, definitely. The side box art looks like a young Larry Harmer. We'll have a look in a second, but yeah, I think it does have a bit of a vibe of him, doesn't it? Yeah, there's could be a mole rat as well. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Yeah, so mole rat, zombie something, because obviously the Night Force zombie theme Walmart leak thing came out, so we know there's some sort of zombie element to Classified soon. And yeah, and that's probably what we're seeing here. But yeah, it could be some sort of repainted, I don't know, it could be it could be mole rat, it could be some sort of zombie. They could be the same one and the same thing as well. We're not really sure about the mole rats. We don't really know much about them other than what we've been told, what everyone's been told about them. Next up then we have this shot, and this is where we're like, okay, yeah, we're in zombie territory here. Zombie territory. And also, speaking about all the Dark Energon and all that kind of stuff, obviously we've got the comics crossover. Spoiler alert, but it's kind of big news at the moment, and on every single thing, the G.I. Joe Transformers movie universe, which looks to be going forward. You know, no spoilers for Rise of the Beasts, obviously, but there's some pretty significant cool things that happen in that regard. So there's definitely a thing at the moment, isn't there, where it's all like, I don't know, they're wanting to do it in all different kind of facets of the brand. We've got the crossover already with All Striker, Bumblebee, and Megatron, the collaborative crossover, and the incoming Thunder Machine Soundwave, which was the last. I think that's been on the cards for a while. I'm not sure when they're going to reveal that, if they are going to. It was leaked a while ago. And then obviously there's possible plans for Sergeant Slaughter Triple T and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it looks like they want to do a lot of this Transformers G.I. Joe stuff. That seems to be like something that is happening, whether you want it or not. And I would say that like in kind of classifieds kind of universe. I think what it looks like they're trying to do is kind of incorporate narrative ideas that maybe go into some of the figures, because I can't see how, other than maybe having like a HasLab for a transforming vamp or something, like a hound vamp classified figure with like a crossover. I mean, that sounds actually pretty freaking cool, come to think of it. But I can't really see how Transformers really works with the classified universe other than narratively like this, with the dark energon and it affecting certain figures and characters and stuff. So it looks like we've got some sort of zombie figure in the background there, which is very exciting. We knew there was some sort of zombie thing leaked, so we're taking completely away from Tunnel Rat here as well, aren't we? But wonderful Tunnel Rat vibes. Now, they're doing this more often, aren't they? So I would expect as well to maybe see something else leaked next week or the week after in some of the other product images. I don't think we have anything in the first one. I don't think we did. The last one we had was the Arctic Bat reveal, wasn't it? And before that, it was Crimson Guard, Python Crimson Guard in the background of Bat Bazooka's imagery. So they do like to sneak them in there every now and again and try and see if you can see them. You could argue that Shadow Tracker is kind of half revealed not half revealed, is kind of on show in the Range Viper artwork, the render, because that is definitely Shadow Tracker on that artwork. I'm not even kidding. That's got to be. Anyway, anywho, awesome stuff. And then one more shot here. What's that in the background? Some sort of like case, or I don't know. There's something purple and dangerous in the background. Anyway, Kitty said. Again, looking pretty dope in these product shots. Tunnel Rat. One thing I will say, and I have had this confirmed by Lenny, the patch on his left arm, which can't be seen here, that's just the back of Tunnel Rat. We'll get to that in a second. Can we see? Yeah, there's the patch. There's a good shot of the patch. Is actually that you'll have if you go and have a look at the images that were leaked, or in half an hour you can go and see them properly. But the images that were leaked, you'll see a good close up on the back of the box of the patch on his arm, and it's actually a rat holding a flashlight. It's amazing. So if you can kind of make out the flash of the flashlight in white on the on this image, and the black inside the circle is the rat kind of shape. But how funny is that, man? That is just so good. So yeah, really, really excited about this. Love Tunnel Rat and think they've done a phenomenal job on him. And you can get him. He's mainline, so he's standard issue. He's one of the 5 figures that we've mentioned before on the show when we explained that there was the next 5-figure wave and broke it down. Tunnel Rat obviously is one of them. Who else is in that? Grunt, Firefly, Crimson Viper, and there's another one I'm just bailing on. Lowlight. So I would, if I were a betting man, expect those characters over the next couple of weeks. Just saying. Hint, hint. It's hardly a hint, is it? That's like me saying it. But yeah, the Easter eggs are really fun, definitely. It's something that I really like getting a kick out of. And we've already seen the packaging as well in more detail, kind of on the leak that we're seeing right now. And obviously, like I said, in half an hour, we'll be able to see it properly. And probably like really good quality, so we can make out that Storm Shadow in the background of Desert Commando Snake Eyes digital render image. Now, I think on Snake Eyes, quickly going back to Snake Eyes, if you guys can remember, Storm Shadows in the distance on the building in the background sort of kind of looks like the original design, the classified first design with the tattoo and, that's come out via Higher Toys and what have you. That could be what they've thrown in there. Now, the reason could be because it's they worked on it a while ago, but the way that the packaging thing has been going, those haven't been out for very long. So it's very doubtful that they worked on that particular render image until they knew they were doing that packaging. So it could be a hint that we might be getting that Storm Shadow eventually. And then when we get the proper image of it and it's nice and clear, it might just be the regular Storm Shadow, in which case that's all good as well. But I would think I would really, really love that Storm Shadow with the tattoo and classified. I think it would be freaking amazing, honestly. And it doesn't have to be your Storm Shadow. Like we have a retro one. We have one that's slightly similar. We have an Arctic Missions one that's kind of like Ninja Force. We have a movie one. We've got Storm Shadows, all the different types of Storm Shadows you could kind of want already. Well, not all of them. Obviously, V2 is definitely on the cards for me. Like, I need that hard. So if that one came out now, I don't think there would be too much of a furore. Like, I don't think people would be upset. I think if that had been the first Storm Shadow, maybe. And I think that's what they were concerned about. When, you know, like it was a great response to the first wave of figures, definitely, but there was a huge kind of like as well as it being successful, there was a huge outpouring of kind of comments and, you know, like feedback of wanting very much like retro style figures in a 6-inch scale. So they've kind of done it, and they've kind of in some cases merged the two worlds together a bit. Sometimes they've gone too far one way or the other. But for me, hell, we get it eventually. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm happy to wait for this stuff because, you know, it just, and at the moment it's hardly waiting when they're dropping blooming pre-orders like loads of it all the time, and reveals and name onlys and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, that's mainline, that's Tunnel Rat. 1 o'clock again. It's only 12:28 right now, so you've still got time. This is the lineup of the figures. Obviously, Desert Commando Snake Eyes, Cobra Eels, and Tunnel Rat. Pretty amazing lineup today, actually. I'm quite impressed. Obviously, Eels was a great surprise. Really excited that hit really strong. Tunnel Rat, obviously, just solid figure, looks phenomenal. Loads of like gear and a nice little additional bonus of a completely new repaint for a Snake Eyes we have had a number of times, but looks pretty dope. So excited for all of this, honestly. Do we have numbers for any of these? Yes, we do. So I believe Snake Eyes is 92 and Tunnel Rat is 83 or 86. Can't remember which one now. I can tell you I do have it at hand. Yes, 83 is Tunnel Rat. So I am on Instagram, Charlock, but I don't post this stuff on Instagram. I'm just Diagnostic 80 on Instagram. I will probably do a full force one eventually, but honestly, it's so much messing around trying to get stuff up on every other blooming place. I don't want to add like 12 other new areas. Well, I'll probably be starting Instagram soon for full force. What am I talking about? Eels, we don't know the number for Eels yet. We just know 92 for Snake Eyes, 83 for Tunnel Rat, and Eels we don't know yet. You just started following me. That was instant, Charlock. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. It just came up as I was talking about it. We will. Don't worry. I'm sure the next tier, Firefly. I'm sure the next tier will reveal. We're not far off another reveal. Put it that way for the Dragonfly. Not at all. Okay. That is Yojoe June, day 14, reveals. Very excited. Lots of cool stuff to get stuck into. I'm just trying to think, actually, is there any other information on those that I need to discuss with you guys? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's it. So 1 p.m. will be everywhere on Pulse. All of them will be on Pulse at 1 p.m. for premium members. And then for everyone else, I think it's 2. I think that's the case. Let's just, I can just go through it, can't I? 1 p.m. Eastern, mainline retailers and Pulse. It's mainline, so it'll be everywhere and it'll be easy to get for Tunnel Rat. Now, for the Eels, this will be an Amazon exclusive with limited quantities on Pulse. So it'll be like 12 seconds on Pulse because you know what it's like. Again, 1 p.m. for premium, 2 p.m. for everyone else. But honestly, it's very rare, isn't it, that it sticks around till 2. But I think it did on the last one. I think where there was a 1-2 kind of punch, even though it was limited quantities on Pulse, I still believe they were available around 2 o'clock going in. So yeah, there's that. There's a few comments coming in. I will get some in a moment, guys. There's some stuff I want to talk about in there as well, definitely. And of course, that's like Amazon exclusive mainly anyway. So you won't have a problem getting Eels up inside you. And then the other one was Desert Commando Snake Eyes, which is fan channel specialty retailers. So I'm guessing what, BBTS, Entertainment Earth. Yeah, and some other ones like that. Am I missing? I know, you know, wherever they are in globally as well. In the Pulse, in the UK, it's just Pulse anyway. In yeah, Toys of the Jedi. Everything is Pulse exclusive in the UK. So if you're in the UK, it's all on Pulse. And I think you can get the odd import stock from independent retailers. Smash the like button, definitely, Rachel. Thank you very much. Definitely smash that like button, or just gently tap it, or just click it ever so slightly and carefully. I'm cool with that as well. I can't believe the Boosh reference. Dude, I did the Boosh reference as soon as Eels came up. You just didn't hear it. I genuinely did. I did it, actually. I did it the moment I went live because I talked about them and I went, Eels up inside. I did it like immediately. Go back and watch the beginning, Adam. Trust me, I did the Boosh reference from second 5, I reckon it was. So yeah, go. I'm going to give you half an hour to get prepared now, guys, for this stuff. But before I do zip off, we do have to. Well, let's bring it to a gentle close. It is kind of weird not, because I've got my headphones on. It's kind of weird not hearing the video and the noise and the music and stuff. That is a bit off-putting. I'll put my headphones back on. Shall I do that? Yeah, I'll do that, shall I? Ruin the hair now. Or just do that. I'm cool with that. I'll just do this, like some sort of like smooth DJ in Ibiza. No, I won't do that. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Skybound have just done a press release, by the way, about having G.I. Joe, so that's cool. Thank you very much, Adam. I'll probably be sharing that in a second. I mean, we kind of knew anyway, but yeah, it's good to have the official word, so thank you for that. Oh yeah, the one ear job, yeah, terrible. Ever drink Baileys from his shoe, says Plastic Battles. You absolute genius. Oh, he's such a jack of clubs. Yeah. Yo Force, Full Joe, all of that good stuff. Stay Fresh Cheese Bags. Thanks very much, guys, for being you and supporting the channel and watching and all this kind of stuff. Really appreciate it. There'll be more stuff, I imagine, today to talk about. Probably got loads of news bursts to do when I get home. Yeah, it's a crazy day, and a big shout out as well, by the way, to my little pumpkin Phoebe, my little baby Phoebes. She's having surgery today, so wish her the best, please. My little baby cakes. So my little mini schnauzer, or our mini schnauzer. So yeah, shout out to Phoebes. She's there at the moment. She's probably under it right now. So hopefully she comes. Hopefully everything's really cool. But I just wanted to hear you guys give us some well wishes, please. Yeah, she's it's a standard procedure, but obviously she has to go under, so it's all a bit nervy. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult day, but we'll get through it. And thanks very much for all of the support, guys. The other thing I wanted to say was Plastic Battles did ask if there was another redacted interview coming soon. Yes, there is. We have 2 on the cards. 3 on the cards. We've got Brian Flynn, who, sorry, it's taking me ages to edit because of everything else that's happening and going on at the time. So that will be coming out at some point soon. We've already recorded it. It's already nearly done. I just need to get it worked out. We've got Hasbro on the cards as well, with Lenny and Emily towards the end of the month. We've also got possibly Paul Harding jumping on to do a interview as well. So that would be fun too. Paul Harding, of course, who's been doing some of the sculpt work on some of the new figures we've had recently, including, I believe, Torpedo was his. So yeah, be excited to chat to Paul as a very talented sculptor on the Classified series. Anyway, loads of stuff to come, guys. Loads more content. Oh, it's just constant for you guys. I mean, you're the luckiest people ever. Just kidding. You know what to do. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Full force. See you later. Sort of. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/TheFullForce, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.